There's something about skateboarding. I get it though. Like, especially if you get a trick that you know is going to be one of the last 3 tricks in your part, that's just a hammer, just like an NBD at a big spot. You pushed forward the sport of skateboarding. You progressed the art. I could see how that would be like them winning a Super Bowl and them wanting to get really fucked up.
Oh, I've seen people pull tricks where it was like they won their Super Bowl, like in the sense of like, oh, I'm never going to do that trick again. Like, I'm never going to find something bigger to do that trick on.
Yeah.
Like, that's just pretty much it. When I saw Stevie truck El Toro, 360 bar spin down El Toro, it was just like, oh, well, you probably are never going to truck something like that again, because it's like, what would the point be? Like, that's the biggest one anyone's ever done. It's definitely probably the biggest one you're going to do. So
it's the 20 stair. What's the best thing that's been thrown down El Toro? I think it's been switch ollied.
You'd have to tell me skateboard wise. BMX wise, definitely truck driver. I seen a kid double bar spin it, which is fucking insane. I think I saw a kid switch bar spin it. I think I seen a scooter kid backflip it.
Scooters don't count. I'm just not impressed by it.
Okay, it's a backflip.
It's gnarly, but it's not gnarly because he has a scooter and he was probably wearing a helmet.
Okay, you're a grown man. It's an insane physical feat. You got to take yourself out of this like anti-scooter mentality for a second and just admit that someone doing a backflip down a 20 stair on a chintzy little piece of shit aluminum fucking scooter, it's crazy.
Here's the difference. You, when you were younger, did BMX. I was a skater. This kid was a scooter.
We hated scooter riders too, but at a certain point, you just got to acknowledge that they do insane shit. Same thing with the rollerblading thing. We had like rollerblader beef my whole time growing up. Yeah, but
fucking fruit booters.
If you actually watch rollerblade videos, I mean, they do the most death-defying shit. A lot of rollerblade videos make skateboarders look like fucking pussies.
Dude, I mean, there are guys in the Middle East who swallow swords for a living. That's technically gnarly.
And some people will click on that on WorldStar and enjoy themselves very much watching it. Not me so much at this point, but I mean, if you can't see the similarity of like, oh, this guy took an inanimate object and, you know, took it down a 20 stair and did something that realistically probably could have like, you know, killed him. It's like 2 degrees away from a skateboard. It's just got a handle on it and less wheels.
I think the only thing that makes me comforted is I know that guy gets no vagina to compensate.
And that is why it's so cool. It's because you could conceivably get ass by doing heel flips.
You're kind of right. You know, actually, it's kind of more impressive that there's no earthly reward for what he did.
Well, I'm sure actually they're sponsored and they probably make okay money. There's definitely scooter dudes making good money.
Unfortunately, every time I drive by a skate park now, I see more fucking scooters going around.
But it makes
than
me wonder
do skateboards.
it makes me wonder if scooters are on the way out, because I feel like I see less scooters. And I remember 2010 hearing from people in the UK and Australia that like the scooter takeover of their skate parks was like nothing ever to have happened before, that it was like the craziest thing ever. And a lot of people really seem to be under the impression of like, oh, BMX and skateboard are probably going to go away because scooters are so big now.
There's just no sex appeal. I remember the first Razor scooter I ever saw, and this was an omen of things to come. It was at the Maidu skate park in Sacramento, California. All these kids were hitting the fun boxes, going down the banks. This kid pulls up into the park, and we're like, what the hell is that thing he's on? This kid was on a Razor scooter with baggy Fred Durst-style shorts, and he had a sideways, upside-down visor.
Was he Japanese?
No, he was like a fat white kid.
That's just like the cool rollerblader style that I imagine from the 90s, is that everybody had like a fucking sideways, upside down visor.
I remember seeing it, and maybe I missed like the peak 90s rollerblader like fashion wave.
Oh, it was
but
great.
I thought that I was just like, this kid is so embarrassing, and I hate the device he's riding, and I will hate it for all time based on his
You got to
headwear.
unlearn that shit.
Your love for TikTok and scooters distresses me.
It's not like, okay, very different, because one is a physical object and one is just a social media platform that realistically is not different from Instagram or Twitter in any meaningful way. But when it comes to the scooter stuff, I mean, you just can't deny that some of it's absolutely unbelievable. Like I've seen and I would love for people, because I can't even remember who's like really dope, but send us links to people, because I would love for Danny to try to argue that some of this shit is not dope. And even the idea that it's not cool or that these dudes are just straight dorks. No, there's scooter dudes who have steez like the top skateboarders, who have like unbelievable cool ass style, and you're in denial because you pretend that you've had this skateboard thing going on in your life?
I pretend.
I'm questioning it now, like Jason Ellis.
I pretend.
I'm just saying, anybody who gives this scooter shit a fair shake would have to admit that it's absolutely unbelievable. This has been a clip from my new podcast, Sledge Lords with Danny Mullen. We're dropping a new episode every week, so either hit the link in the description or search up the Adam22 channel on YouTube. Appreciate you guys.